Hey everyone, and welcome to another GameXplain discussion. I'm your host, Derek Bittner, and I'm joined today by Andre Seegers, Ash Paulson, and John Cartwright to talk about the surprising rumor of a Star Fox Grand Prix. Basically, a racing game featuring Star Fox characters that's a combination of F-Zero and Diddy Kong Racing, which is kind of insane, but also makes a weird amount of sense. So it's like, okay, let's get together and see whether we think, one, this rumor is real, two, whether this is actually possible, and three, would it be any fun? By the way, the developer, Retro Studios, which is just another weird layer on top of all this. And yeah, Andre, what were your thoughts when you heard this rumor?
Yeah, I guess the first question is this real, right? Because this is kind of in the Mario and Rabbids caliber, tier of rumors, I would say. And had this come out before that game came out, before we knew those rumors were real, I would lean on the side of this being fake. But in the universe where Mario plus Rabbids exists, I can see this being an actual game that's going to happen. And plus, I do want to say that we have been hearing similar things ourselves over the past few weeks, so everything is kind of matching up. So I'm on Team Real for this one, for as wild as it is, and I don't want to get too into it yet, because I have a lot to say. I kind of love this idea.
Yeah, this is just crazy enough to be legit. I think I'm on Team Real for this too. I'm kind of shaky on that, because it really is so far out there. But then again, I mean, so originally was the idea of Retro going from working on Metroid Prime to, hey, another Donkey Kong Country game. So this isn't, as crazy as the idea itself is, it's not so crazy to think that Retro would have been jumping from a 2D platformer onto something completely off-the-wall different again. So, The idea itself is crazy, but it's, like you said, Andre, it could just be crazy enough to work, and I kind of think there could be some truth to this one, so, yeah, I think I'm on Team Real for this.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning to Team Real as well. And, you've learned over the years to just trust in Retro. Because when Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze was announced, everyone was like, oh, flipping Donkey Kong. And that was one of the best platformers of all time. They made Metroid Prime one of the best transitions to 3D of all time. So, just to hear the prospect of Star Fox Grand Prix, I'm not going to be all negative about it. I'm actually quite excited to learn more. And the fact that it's kind of based on Diddy Kong Racing is amazing, because that's like one of my favorite kart races ever. So, if this is real, I'll be very happy, and I kind of want to believe it's real at this point.
I'm so not sure what I think about this one, because for the longest, like you said, we've heard rumblings of this, and it's just kind of odd. It's such an odd concept, but then also, you were talking about how it's odd to have Mario and the Rabbids, which it is. But even with Star Fox, if somebody told you years ago that we were hearing rumors about a Star Fox game crossed with Legend of Zelda, you're like, are you high? Why would they do that? Those two just don't mix. Why would they do it? And then, of course, we got Star Fox Adventures. So this, to me, is completely possible, which makes it just kind of work. But it's also like, the details that are filtering in are kind of nebulous where they're coming from. It's not exactly clear.
Actually, we should probably clarify that real quick, right? Because these rumors are, the source of the rumors being cited right now are from a poster on Reddit. And then someone else on 4chan posted a supposed logo for the game. But I think the reason why these rumors specifically are picking up steam is because others in the industry have heard them. And they're like, well, now that's out in the open, we can publish them.
Yeah, and Eurogamer specifically said that we had heard rumblings of this, but not an actual title. So details have been floating around, just nobody wanted to pull the trigger until somebody did pull something like this on Reddit type thing.
Exactly.
Right.
It's one of those weird things, but I'm not sure. I really don't. And while I can see this, it's weird. I can see this being completely plausible, but I'm going to be my normal self and say,
shocker,
maybe not real. Like, I'm leaning more towards real. Like, this is the closest I'll ever get, but I'm still going to play it safe and say, probably not real. But I can totally see it being real.
I love how Derek can be like, I think it's probably real, but I'm on Team Fake for this one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I can play that middle ground so well.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to throw it out there, though. I mean, when you first hear it, this rumor does sound kind of crazy, but is it really that crazy? Because when you look at the Star Fox series and where it is now, this is probably the best chance of redemption the series is going to have. The brand is kind of in...
It needs this.
Yeah, it needs this, exactly. I think something off the wall, something completely different from what the series has been before with recognizable elements, is just what it needs to reach a broader market and kind of like reboot itself. I think it needs a burst of goodwill, especially after Star Fox Zero, which I personally liked, but was a very controversial game, plus it was on the Wii U. So...
Right.
I think if they can do something along the lines of Mario Kart, but different enough from Mario Kart to make it stand out, I think that could be pretty compelling.
Well, and those, if any of you were paying attention, you guys would know that this has been planned at least since 2006, because in Star Fox Command, there's that one ending where Fox and Falco quit being, Star Fox pilots to join the G-Zero Racing League. This is what we're seeing play out. This is it here.
This has been in the cards for over a decade. Yeah,
exactly. So if those of you paying attention to Star Fox continuity knew this was an eventuality.
Who would have guessed that would be the true ending to that game?
Exactly. They should just make a whole new game for every ending in that game. Just make a game showing what happens in every eventuality.
Yeah, it'd be like Doctor Strange looking... Oh, that's a spoiler, I guess.
You shouldn't go down that rabbit hole.
Oh, too good.
Yeah. That's not good. Yeah, I mean, it is so strange, but also, again, it kind of works. Oh, God. It kind of works because there are a ton of characters in Star Fox. We got Star Fox, we got Star Wolf, we got all the side characters that have popped in throughout the different games. Krystal, Panther, the two that were in Star Fox 2, now they've been officially released. Like, there's a lot of characters they could work with for a lot of racers in this.
That's a great point. There are so many characters again. Oh, we have to have Grippy in here, Slippy's uncle.
Yeah.
Oh, we have Grippy. We gotta have Amanda, Slippy's wife. I mean, come on. You gotta get the entire... we gotta get the entire extended Star Fox cast into this game.
I think this. Wow. I really think this kind of. I mean, if they take like a more goofy approach with this game, which they kind of have to, with it being essentially a air-based kart racer, this might be the perfect vehicle, so to speak, for the Star Fox cast. The perfect way to tie in all of them together. You get General Scales in there. You get the real life James McCloud from F-Zero in there.
Oh, that'd be so good.
Oh man.
Have both James McClouds, that'd be so great.
Right?
That would be
I mean, if you can have babies in Mario Kart, why not have both James McClouds here? Why not?
I'm all
Pink
about
Gold
it.
Krystal.
Pink Gold Krystal. Oh, God.
Would Andros be here? Would it be like a giant face in his car? Or his Arwing flying around?
If they have like a Diddy Kong Racing style of adventure mode, I guess they can have boss battles.
Right.
I mean, that's one of the things they do say for this adventure, so they wouldn't be boss battles.
Yes, Andros, I guess, would be like the final boss.
More than likely.
Once again, like I've been saying for decades now, probably, I've wanted like a sequel or a spiritual successor to Diddy Kong Racing. Why almost no other car racer has tried to do what that game did is beyond me. So I would love the idea of Star Fox as the one to pick up the mantle and actually run with this idea. Give us a world to explore. And I guess I'd be curious to hear your guys' thoughts as to what all they could do with that.
I mean, Crash Team Racing kind of did something like along those lines, and Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed had the changing element, but with Diddy Kong, you just pick the cart and race as that cart throughout the whole thing. So it's very different in that aspect. But thinking about it, it's like, man, there's I'm just thinking about the races in All Stars Transformed, and I'm like, man, I kind of really want that in Star Fox. I think that'd be a lot of fun, especially because those aerial races were a good time because it was really easy to turn and drift and barrel roll and just make each of these really exciting. I'm imagining a course based off that one really fast section in Star Fox everywhere where you're dodging everything. Like, get crazy courses like that towards the end. You could have a really pulse-pounding race on your hands and really memorable set pieces.
Well, when you brought up Sonic Racing Transformed or whatever it's called, I think you hit on something. I'm not sure if you even fully realized it. Do you think they'll have transforming in this game? Because Arwing itself can already turn into the Walker. Want to add like a water-based feature too? You could have like the Blue Marine from Star Fox 64 in here.
Oh right, the Blue Marine.
Right. Well, and you don't even need just the Walker. You've also got the Landmaster too.
That's true. Exactly. So do you think that might be an element of the racing in this game?
Maybe. I'm kind of picturing the Diddy Kong Racing kind of thing where you have like cars, boats, and airplanes. And you just kind of they have different kind of sets for different races, so I'm not sure if they'll transform on the fly or whether you'll just have different races with different criteria.
Right.
Yeah, both make sense. Star Fox is perfectly capable of doing both of those things. I think transforming sounds a bit more modern.
It does.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So and it makes sense with Zero as well, which is like the latest game in the series. So yeah, why not?
Well, I also wonder if this is at the end of the day, presumably a Star Fox game, so I kind of feel like there's got to be some sort of shooting or destroying element. Like I'm thinking of games like Stun Runner here, where it's a road blaster, where it's a racer, but there's also like an element where you have to shoot down obstacles, there during the race, and because I assume would be flying R-Wings or piloting Landmasters and such, I would think that there'd be an element where you've got to shoot things on the track as well. Maybe obstacles that boulders that fall in your path or something like that. I just don't see a Star Fox racing game not having any sort of element where you're shooting things, because it's Star Fox.
I mean, yeah, that's a great point. I agree with that. That's kind of the tricky thing, though, is how do you balance the shooting versus the racing?
Right.
You don't want to turn it into too much of a shooter, right? Like, I don't want to be sitting there pummeling my opponent from behind the entire time. Well, maybe I do, actually. I don't want to be the guy being pummeled from behind the entire time, then.
I think about just Star Fox Command's ending, and I'm pretty sure in the background of that image they had actual, like, R-Wing-esque F-Zero cars. I'm not sure if they were battle-ready, the cars they had there. So I wonder if they're going to base them off that, or make it a bit more Star Foxy.
If there is shooting, which I feel like there has to be, I don't think it'd be a core part of your moveset. Like, it has to be maybe power-up based, maybe
probably
like an
power
item
up
box.
based.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. I think that's the only way they could really make this work. I mean, kind of cater closer to how Mario Kart works in Star Fox.
Well, Star Fox has lasers and bombs, like, as power-ups. You can have those on the court as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You could also have like an overheating meter, like you could just that would strictly govern how much you could shoot. You could have like your lasers could overheat if you keep shooting for too long.
Actually, tie that into the racing Ash. You can have to balance how much you're boosting with how much you're shooting.
Yeah, that's actually your boosts and your shooting could draw from the same power meter.
That is a really good idea.
I like that idea, Derek. Yeah.
Oh, that's an awesome idea. Right.
Interesting.
I mean, we're kind of the thing is because we're all kind of down with this idea. We're developing it in our heads.
Yeah.
No, we'd be all disappointed once they actually announce it.
I know.
Yeah. if they announce it,
I mean, it is retro. I mean, if that's the thing, we do have pedigree here.
It's quite funny. Retro actually hired someone specifically for game lore recently. So is this Star Fox? Is this Star Fox Grand Prix universe can be rich in lore? Like, is it actually?
I hope so.
Love that.
Read into what Command did, and like take into account like every ending, and somehow merge it into this.
This is like the Star Fox unifying theory here. It just unifies all the games in the series.
We've been thinking that Breath of the Wild was going to be Nintendo's big multiverse timeline converging game, but it's actually this.
Yep, that'd be amazing. Do you think there would be, with having like a hub world type thing, do you think there might be like an upgrade type system? Like for winning races, you win money or credits, I guess, Star Fox credits, and you can upgrade your ship with that. Maybe new parts. I guess a little bit like Mario Kart as well.
I think that'd be a cool aspect of it, to have an unlockable, sort of customize your R-Wing how you want, because, I mean, the R-Wing is iconic at this point, but it would be kind of fun to just sort of make your own. Even maybe unlock paint jobs for it.
Mm-hmm. I can only assume there's got to be some sort of upgrade system, assuming this is all real, of course, in the first place. But yeah, I would think, I mean, if it's going to be some sort of Diddy Kong Racing type story mode-esque racing experience, I feel like by modern standards, there's usually got to be some sort of upgrade system there to kind of keep players interested over the long haul. Otherwise, you're just repeating races ad nauseum.
How about for the racing itself? Like, because there's a few ways I could see this going. Do you think it'll follow a more limited Mario Kart style race where you only have really the width of the track in which to explore? I mean, I'm reminded of that game's of Mario Kart 8's flying sections, which I always thought were the weakest part of the game. I'm really hoping they don't go like too on rails with this, right? So, which is even though Star Fox has historically largely been on rails, but I actually hope they take the chance to open up the races, like give you more opportunities to kind of form like your own path through the course, perhaps. Like maybe have it be like checkpoint based, right? Where almost a little bit like Wave Race-esque.
An all-range mode racing bet where you just have checkpoints that you follow through in an order.
Right.
it's like that's the funny thing. So many of these ideas that you might throw out can be made to work. I can see an all-range type thing. I can totally see on a certain track, but I think I want the tracks to be longer and wider. I'm thinking more like I don't think Mario Kart when I think tracks for Star Fox. I think again, Racing Transform, maybe because I love that game, but again, the flying sections and how a lot of the levels would actively change and like be dynamic as you were going through it, and I think that'd be a lot of fun. Even just point A to point B races in the same vein as like Mount Wario could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking of tracks that could easily be dynamic just by virtue of where they take place, like Solar. I mean, even in Star Fox 64, when you're playing the Solar stage, you've got these solar flares and lava things that are just jumping out at you, and that could make for a cool dynamic race every time, where you're racing literally above the surface of Solar, and you've got to just, in real time, dodge all these lava flumes and things, and yeah, I mean, the Star Fox universe is ripe with stuff like that. It's all got all these different planets, each of which has got crazy stuff going on, pretty much.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Like, I want a game that encourages more risk-taking. Like, one of my minor complaints with Mario Kart 8 is all the shortcuts feel pretty easy to do. You know, there doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of risk involved of taking them, and I want more of that. So if you can shave off a second by flying through a narrow gap between two buildings, heck yeah, that could be really fun.
And it kind of extrapolating on what Derek said earlier about like a full range mode, I was thinking kind of the same thing, and kind of keeping in mind what I said about there being possibly some sort of shooting element. You know, maybe you have a race section, then you move into an all range mode section where you have to shoot down a series of targets, kind of like an obstacle course type thing.
Oh.
And then only after you've shot down all the targets can you move on to the second race segment. Like, I could see these being like a multi-stage type thing.
Are you thinking, wait, are you thinking within the same race or more?
Yeah, within the same race, like a multiple event type, like a multiple, I don't know, goal type race.
An Iron Man version.
An Iron Man challenge, yeah.
Yeah,
I guess, yeah.
That's not a bad idea. I wonder if that would work better, though, or if they went with an ARM-style setup where you have, like, your basic races, and then between those, you have those different type of events.
Yeah, that could work. Yeah, you could have like shooting range type things, or target shooting things as mini games in between, or as side events for sure. That could work as well.
My concern would be with the obstacle style idea within a race is that it would take the focus too much off the racing itself.
Sure.
And it would just feel like a Star Fox game at that point. Where
right. I would just want some. I guess because it would be presumably a Star Fox racer. I just hope there's some sort of Star Fox-y element.
When I think Star Fox, one of the first things I think of are characters talking to each other. So that's no doubt going to be a part of the single player, having everyone interact with each other.
Oh man, a taunt button?
I
gotta praise Falco.
Oh, that'd be great.
So good.
Or what if they include a microphone and it filters your voice into the voice of the character?
That would be amazing.
No, legitimately, I would love the idea that characters actually talk to each other, because there was a Rare made another racing game on Nintendo 64 called like Mickey Racing or something. I forget what it was. It was pretty much garbage. However, one of the cooler features about it was that the characters would actually interact with each other. They would actually talk to each other depending on which character it is. So, like, if Goofy passed Mickey, Mickey would be like, "Hey, screw you, Goofy!" Haha. You didn't actually say that, but
that's a correct quote.
But yeah, they would actually comment to each other specifically, and I would love if they had a racing game kind of with that element. Granted, it could get really annoying too, but I think they should just lean fully in on the Star Fox IP. Go all out.
Exactly, and make it an option to just turn them off if you want. That way, if it does get annoying, you don't have to have it there all the time.
Here's a question though. What will R.O.B do? Because R.O.B generally is he's like the guy at HQ in Star Fox. So will he be playable, or will he be some kind of commentator?
I think he'd be playable. It just feels like he would. I mean, I don't know. I guess. I mean, of course, I'm thinking of Smash when I say that. You know, R.O.B in Smash is very different from R.O.B 64. So, yeah, I guess he could be. I could see him as kind of like a generic announcer type, race commentator type character.
Yeah, I don't think he would work too well as a commentator. So I think he'd be better as a racer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, or either that, or he's the one that you upgrade your ship with.
Yeah, that
right, like
sense.
A mechanic type character. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but that could be Grippy's role too. But Grippy needs to be a racer, so Grippy has to be a racer. That's what one requirement.
I do feel that each racer should have their own sort of special attack.
Kind of like Star Fox 2, how each character had their own. Each pair of characters had their own thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Andre, going off what you were saying, I mean, we also have to consider, in which branch of the Star Fox timeline is this taking place, and when along those branches, because, if it's far enough, Peppy can't be playable because he's retired, so he would be the mechanic-type character. It's so good.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I mean, I really don't think they'll give a crap about, like,
no,
any
of course
of
not.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
I will
but
say,
I do agree. I was going to say, I do agree really quick with what Derek was saying was, there's no point in this at all if they don't lean super heavily into the Star Fox thing.
Yeah.
There's just no
Absolutely.
point.
One thing that I think they need in this game, it's something I've always kind of envisioned for, I don't know why I had this in mind, but I want a flying game with air drifting, like an air brake, and maybe that already exists, but I want that in Star Fox, where you can literally just like do these, just power slide around corners. It makes no sense for a plane, but I wanted to be here.
That actually does kind of exist already in Sonic Riders, but there's no reason. I mean, I think it's really the only game that exists in that I can think of, and there's no reason they can't bring that back.
Right. Was it good in that game?
That's not a very good game.
Was it
No,
fun?
it's not a very good game at all, so there's no reason they couldn't do it better in this.
The
Yeah.
controls are so complex in that game for
I
some
see.
reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to see if we do have an adventure mode, if they somehow made it to the were branching paths. Like if you in this race found the 3 gold rings, you actually go to this path instead and have this set of courses rather than this set of courses. Again, leading hard into that Star Fox IP.
Oh, almost like are you thinking almost like an Outrun style thing where the path you take is dependent on the direction or the direction you take or what you accomplish during the race at different legs?
I guess. I've never played Outrun, so just...
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
sort of the idea of like a Star Fox level where you find a secret path and then that would lead you to this
Sure.
set of levels or
Okay.
that sort of thing, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there could be a lot of opportunities to hide stuff around in hub world for this game. I mean, I loved the hub world in Diddy Kong Racing once again, and it was, even though it was small, it was fun just to explore.
Speaking of, or not really speaking of, but I was just thinking of Star Fox 64's multiplayer and how it hasn't really been done all that right since, except for Star Fox 64 3D. And even though this is a racing game, presumably, it would be nice if some sort of like side multiplayer mode did just have kind of like a classic Star Fox 64-esque dogfighting mode where you have these,
A battle mode.
all range
Yeah.
mode arenas where you can just, it's not racing where you're just trying to shoot each other down. I just feel like it would be nice to have that brought back as a side mode in this as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, totally. I think they should go all out in that. And a lot of people were missing the multiplayer in Star Fox Zero.
Exactly.
So this is a kind of great opportunity to bring it back too. I'm totally with you.
Yeah.
I think that's why this rumor feels like it should be real, because there's so much potential here. But there's another elephant in the room that we do have to address.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah. Poor F-Zero. If
Yeah.
this
I was
is
thinking the
real,
exact same thing.
Yeah.
if this is real, F-Zero is so screwed.
Right. The premise of this is like a parody of F-Zero. So if this is real, then F-Zero must have a really small chance of coming into like. I know N64 had Diddy Kong Racing and Mario Kart 64 and F-Zero X, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. But yeah, this just sounds way too much like F-Zero for F-Zero to be a thing still.
Yeah, I mean, there is really we know nothing about the game so far. I mean, they could be two completely different styles of racing game. Again, this is all assuming this is even real. But yeah, I mean, there is room, I feel, for a completely different kind of racing game than what F-Zero is. But I do agree, this does seem to be a parody of F-Zero at best in terms of F-Zero's overall relevance, and it is kind of a shame that we've gone this long without, a new title in Nintendo's flagship racing series. And if this ends up being real, as cool as it would be, as you guys just said, poor F-Zero.
Do you think so? Because we got a Star Fox character in the form of James McCloud and F-Zero, do you think we get an F-Zero character in Star Fox? Maybe
Oh god, a
blue
Captain Falcon that's a
Yep,
literal falcon.
Exactly.
I mean, I think you already hit on it before, James McCloud. We should get James McCloud, the F-Zero character.
I want him too. I want
Yeah.
both.
Yeah, right.
So let's assume the Star Fox racing game is real, and even though we know very little about it, would you prefer getting this, or would you prefer getting another F-Zero instead?
I kind of like the sound of this, to be honest.
Same
Like,
here.
this is selling
Yeah.
me really
It's
hard.
new.
Yeah, it's new, it's different. I suck at F-Zero. This has a bit more potential. The thing is, I still want a new F-Zero game for those fans. I'm just not very good at F-Zero.
Yeah.
I might have to be the lone holdout. As much as I do want this, I love what we've been brainstorming. I love the sound of it, but I also really, really, really love F-Zero GX, and I really want a new game.
I've got good news for you, Ash. F-Zero GX still exists. So.
Yes, but I have to go back and play that on GameCube. I want
With the best controller of all
1080
time.
FPS. Yes, that's true, but I still want a 1080p 60 FPS truly,
that's fair.
like modern F-Zero. I really want that experience. But again, everything we've been brainstorming today has been very exciting, so while I would have to lean F-Zero, I certainly do want this as well.
I just want to throw out there again, going back to the Captain Falcon idea. If there is in fact banter in this game, the banter between
Yes.
Captain Falcon and Falco could be amazing. I'm thinking like Tony Stark and Doctor Strange and Infinity War levels.
That could be. I mean, honestly, Falco's dialogue with anybody is going to be great because he's Falco and he's just a douche.
So, is our rule for any crossover characters that they have to be animals?
I think that should be a rule.
If so, the Kongs are right.
I was thinking the same thing.
Send Donkey
right.
Kong into space. I really want a Donkey Kong space game, like a Donkey Kong Planet or something like that. That'd
Donkey Kong's already gone to the moon, so why not space as well?
Exactly.
And I just want like DK, Diddy, Dixie, and Cranky in there again because of the whole chatter angle. I want legitimate chatter for all the other animals in this game, but then for them, inexplicably, it's just them making their DK sounds and not actually saying anything.
And it does kind of work since, they worked on Tropical Freeze with Retro,
Exactly.
so...
I mean, if we're talking about crossovers here, I was just thinking, let's get Rivali in there, just so Rivali and Falco can have this weird, hey, you're like literally me. You're like, hey, who are you? You're literally me from another universe. That's crazy.
Who owns the rights to WizPig?
I know.
I imagine Microsoft.
Yeah, they probably do.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, because I was actually going to say, before this discussion, it was amazing, Andre. You were talking about WizPigma, which was really, really good. Like, I want that to be a real thing. Like, that's so good.
I mean, yeah, there's so much I can do with this game. Like, the possibilities and opportunities here are what excite me for this, so...
WizPigma, best new villain 2018.
Are there any other Nintendo characters with animal names that they could animalize for this game? Like, beyond Captain Falcon?
I mean, at least 3/4 of the Animal Crossing cast you could probably do that with.
That's true, yeah, you could.
Like, yeah.
Only 3/4? Like, not the other guys?
Probably 95%, yeah.
Kirby's animal buddies and get Rick, Kine, and Koo in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
that.
this could be right. So while Mario Kart gets the main characters, right? Star Fox Grand Prix could get the has-beens or the second-rate characters,
Right.
cameos.
That's so mean.
Yeah.
Get Tip Top in there.
Hey, there we go.
Oh, man. Drumstick.
I think that's probably what is the most exciting about this rumor, is the fact that it has so much potential. It's weird, it's wacky, but that's also fitting for Star Fox. It's not a remake of 64
Yeah.
or the original. It's just, it's a possible own thing they can pull from the lore of Star Fox and just go crazy with it. That's all I ask, if it is a real thing.
I mean, that's a good point, actually, Derek. This is almost more exciting in terms of what it could mean for Star Fox than what it is in terms of a racing game. I mean, because racing games are great, but I think after Star Fox Zero, we pretty much all kind of thought maybe the writing was on the wall for that series, and certainly it was going to be on ice for a while. But if this ends up being real, this is actually great news for the series in the sense that Nintendo's willing to give it another shot after Zero.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love Star Fox, but how do you market a 3-hour-long on-rail shooter at a full retail price in 2018? It's very tricky.
Yeah.
And Zero had some issues, but I still think even if it was a great game that was like critically acclaimed, I still think it probably wouldn't have found its full potential retail-wise.
Right. Yeah.
Especially on Wii U.
Yes, and Wii U too. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think that covers it for our Star Fox Grand Prix rumor discussion. So thank you for watching, and if you like this video, be sure to like us on Facebook and Twitter at GameXplain, and of course make sure to subscribe to GameXplain for more on Star Fox and other things gaming as well. Until next time, bye.